This is CBC Here and Now.
Oh yes, I'm quite excited to see the new store open actually.
I'm excited to see what's in the new warehouse.
I'm from CBS, so it don't take me no time to get here.
The biggest Costco in the entire country draws a big crowd, but the opening of Costco in Galway isn't just about a new store.
The talk of the town, actually the talk of the whole east coast of Newfoundland, the Price Club.
It's also about a shifting change in the city's economy and geography. Good evening and welcome to Here and Now. I'm Carolyn Stokes.
And I'm Anthony Germain, live outside what is definitely the busiest place in Newfoundland and Labrador this evening. If you take a look, people coming and going from this, the biggest store, the biggest Costco in Canada. It was delayed for a while and it finally happened. Also coincides with the last day of school, so it's been very busy on this beautiful day. And we're not just here for all the hype tonight on Here and Now, but also to explain the economic and financial significance of this, so stay tuned. But first though, our cameras have been busy all day trying to take in the meaning of this event as well as some of the sights and sounds.
Thank you!
It's just exciting to be able to deliver this beautiful building to our members today.
This is a gigantic Costco. It's actually the biggest in the country. Why do we need such a big Costco?
Well, as you may know, getting freight to the island can be a challenge at times. So by having a Costco of this size, we're able to be in stock for our members all the time and continue to deliver great value to the membership that we have here.
Fabulous. I'm from CBS, so it don't take me no time to get here, like 5 minutes.
I'm excited to see what's in the new warehouse.
What time did you come here?
Well, I'm up early every morning, so I was here at 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock.
Yeah.
We got here about 20 after 6.
How many people were here then?
Not very many, probably about 10, just these few up front.
So tell me what you bought.
Got a new 65-inch RCA or TCL TV and a bit of groceries. Oh yes, I'm quite excited to see the new store open actually. It's closer to home and
So where do you live?
in Manuels. It's going to bring more business around here, I believe, right? Well, it's kind of stops me from going to East End unless I really got to go down and get something down at that inn now.
All right, so you heard some people in the East End, they're saying they won't come here. This fellow, Lee Stewart, lives in CBS, so are you going to be a daily customer, you figure?
Yes, I work close to here, so I'll be visiting this place frequently.
Mm-hmm. What are you after tonight?
I just came to get something to eat and just stroll around and try some free samples. And
There's lots in there.
Oh yes, absolutely. I was here this morning and I tried most everything.
Okay. Well, you know it's dangerous. You can come in here for turnips and leave with a yacht
Oh, absolutely.
or a lawnmower.
Absolutely.
Well, listen, Lee, I won't stop you. Off you go, and thanks for dropping by.
Thanks, Anthony.
All right.
Bye.
Now, that's Lee Stewart. And of course, this, the biggest Costco in Canada, wouldn't be possible if it weren't for a man who thinks about a lot of big projects, some more memorable than others, but for this one, there's no question people are giving Danny Williams a lot of credit. And we're going to get to him in just a moment. But first, I want to give you some facts here. The Costco is giving us this information here, so I'll just go through some of this. We're talking about being an economic driver. Did you know, for instance, that there are 80 full or part-time jobs here? And not only that, but if you do work here, the wages, and this is what I found surprising, the average wage is $24.50. So put that in the context of a minimum wage, which I think a lot of people assume. Wages here, pretty good. Parking spots, I've been looking around, people finding parking spots, probably day one, very, very busy, but nonetheless, I've got to say the traffic in the parking lot pretty good. Maybe that's because there are 1,000 parking spots now. That's 300 more than the location in the East End. And as far as gasoline goes, which that fellow obviously filled up on as he roared up behind this wonderful stand-up, 24 gas pumps, that's twice as many as the previous location. So lots of different things about this, making it the biggest one in the country. Now, I mentioned Danny Williams, of course. He was here today for the big opening, and we managed to catch up with him this morning.
Another beautiful sunny Newfoundland and Labrador morning, and to showcase the place, even to the the Costco brass who are down, they've got a lot of their employees from right across the country in to help with the setup here, and to get this kind of a morning with this panorama that we got up here in Galway of the whole area is fabulous. And of course, the people, as you said, are pouring in. They had 500 people in the first 5 minutes come through the door here this morning, so it's an indication of just how busy it's going to be.
Oh man, they're bringing out TVs like bags of onions from other grocery stores.
Yeah, we went through the store last night. We got a chance to get a pre-showing, and we went through it after it was set up last night, and it was unbelievable. I mean, you know, I even said that to my wife, I said, this is going to be a tourist attraction, and it really is. Strange enough that a store, you know, in a province in Canada would be a tourist attraction, but it's the largest store in the country. It has huge capacities, beautifully stocked, it's well lit, and it's well laid out. So you're going to have people come from all over, certainly all over the province to come here, and I would expect people will even come from the Maritimes and make it part of a nice trip.
And maybe even from the East End if we're lucky.
Well, yeah, and of course, you know, people, the interesting thing about the East End, people are really concerned about, you know, going through roundabouts and everything else. That roundabouts are a piece of cake once they get used to them. People who are initially a bit nervous about roundabouts, they can avoid them, but if you can't avoid them, just go through. It's the constabulary are out here directing traffic this morning as well, and I understand they're going to be here for 4 or 5 days as well. So I encourage people to get out and get a look at this beautiful facility.
And what do you think this is going to do for regional development?
Well, it's huge. I know it's huge for us. I mean, you know, we've spent 10 years, and with more than that, in the whole planning stages. But developing a master plan community here in Galway is completely unique to Eastern Canada. It's completely different, and it's been thought through. And this is a big milestone for us. This is the catalyst. This is what's really going to launch it. We have more businesses that are opening up now in August. We have 3 or 4 more coming through. By the end of the year, there'll be 13 new businesses in Galway, and that's only the tip of the iceberg. And of course, Galway Living now is basically on bust. We have very few homes now available for immediate sale, but our building lots are there, and our builders are building as quickly as they can get it done.
Now, I see a lot of crooked people on Twitter this evening that are kind of bothering me because they're saying, what's the CBC doing out here promoting this business? It's not about promoting a business that people are coming to anyway. It's about a major economic driver in our province that creates jobs, but it also represents a major shift. And coming up later in here now, Zach Gowdy is going to have some deeper explanation about what this means for business and finances in this province. So stay tuned.
It was broken into and a lot of the tools stolen.
We'll tell you how a Choices for Youth affordable housing project recovered from a theft.
I lost my whole tool belt and all the tools in it.
Coming up on Here and Now.
Another beautiful day today. Actually, it's been a beautiful week for the most part. Those temperatures are slowly climbing. Take a look at some of these numbers. 25 degrees in Deer Lake, 21 in Gander, reached a high near 16 degrees in St. John's. And, you know, today, this afternoon, we saw plenty of sunshine, some fog staying off the coast again. That's starting to move in further inland, especially towards Torbay. I'm already seeing lots of fog there from some of the cameras. Otherwise, we've got some showers that has moved through parts of Central that will clear as we head through the overnight tonight. Another nice day tomorrow, slight chance of a few showers, but we'll have all those details coming up.
Thanks, Ashley. Well, it's report card day, but not just for students. The Auditor General released a report earlier this afternoon. It rang out around the same time as the final bell of the school year. Here and Now's Katie Breen has more.
Students rushed out. The Auditor General came in. Her office doesn't get the summer off. The report today focused on 3 things. First, school bus safety. When the AG office did its investigation, it found there were no driver qualification guidelines, nothing that would automatically disqualify a person from driving a school bus. The report says that includes things like prior charges, things that could pose a risk to the safety of students. It also found the district accepted a level of CPR that taught how to save adults, not kids. Schools also had training they were required to do with students about bus safety and evacuation, but only about half the schools actually followed through on that, and there was no reporting mechanism to keep them accountable. The AG says the district has been receptive to these issues and now has a draft policy in place.
It was really positive when you're working through an audit and you raise issues that the district took them seriously, and they did move forward on a number of these. And like I said, I think a lot of that is reflective in their response.
Next up, healthy eating. There's food being served in schools that isn't supposed to be there, things that don't fit in the food guide, typically stuff that's more processed, sugary, or fatty. Schools here allow more salt and trans fat than best practices in other jurisdictions.
The fact that the types of food are still there in the schools is, I don't think that's acceptable. I think, again, as from a parent's perspective.
When asked if he was satisfied with the current cafeteria score, the health minister said things can always improve. He said government is going to work with the district to get healthier.
This helps start to instill the healthy eating lifestyles in the children, which is really important because, of course, they grow up to be the adults.
And finally, a little outside the schoolyard, the province's overall wellness. The Auditor General critiqued the existing wellness plan created 13 years ago, mostly because it doesn't have any outcomes. And without outcomes, it's hard to track progress. Mullally says the Liberals' way forward has since set some targets. She hopes those tangibles fold into the new wellness plan currently in the works. Katie Breen, CBC News, St. John's.
Corner Brook police received a call this week from Interpol asking for help arresting a man near Pasadena. A 31-year-old from Boom Siding has been charged with 1 count of uttering threats. According to the International Police, an online gaming company reported that someone was making threats during a live chat. The threats related to a possible school shooting, though no specific school or location was mentioned. The man is scheduled to appear in court on Thursday. And in other news tonight, Choices for Youth affordable housing project hit a serious setback recently. The group's social enterprise, known as Impact Construction, is building a brand new 5-unit building in St. John's. But a few days ago, work at the site ground to a halt. Here now's Mark Quinn reports.
It's bright and sunny, and the crew is hard at work here at this Impact Construction project now, but there were some dark days over the weekend.
We had a theft on the job site, so our storage container that contained a lot of our tools working on the project were stolen.
Impact Construction hires young and at-risk people. The thieves didn't just take the company's tools, they also took those workers' personal kits, tools they'd saved up for and bought themselves.
I lost my whole tool belt and all the tools in it. You know, it's devastating because you lose everything that you had.
But Hoskins wasn't going to let this stop him. He's overcome some trouble before.
I had some drug addiction problems in the past, and I found these people through my little brother. He worked here before.
Local tradespeople heard about the theft and rallied together to help this project at Cashin Avenue and Pennywell Road.
And we were able to restock our tools.
It's full steam ahead now, and Hoskins says it's an opportunity to pay it forward.
This is going towards, you know, single mothers and other youth and, you know, people with problems and struggles. It's all helping them out in the long run, right?
So what could have been a disaster turned out to be just a speed bump. The crew working here hopes to see people living in this home by 2020. Mark Quinn, CBC News, St. John's.
Well, Andy Jones is joining the ranks of the Order of Canada. The Newfoundland entertainer is being recognized for his work as a comedian, director, and author who has made this province's culture and traditions central to his work. Jones worked with the groundbreaking comedy troupe Codco. He appeared in movies like Rare Birds, and he has also performed on stages across Canada. Jones co-founded and worked at the Resource Centre for the Arts at the LSPU Hall. He's also a children's book author with 5 award-winning titles to his credit. Well, Canada's icebergs are majestic and they're melting. Scientists are now trying to put a time frame on just how quickly and what will happen to the waters left behind. In our ongoing climate change series, Chris O'Neill-Yates looks at what could lie ahead for many coastal communities.
The arrival of icebergs ushers in spring and tourists.
So, like, the tourism is a great boost to Newfoundland, right, to all the little outports and the city too.
When this unusual chunk of ice broke off, it rubbed against a valley and took part of Greenland with it.
Icebergs always came over the years, so, like, you know, like, it makes you wonder, you know, like, will they ever stop?
That's what Memorial University glaciologist Lev Tarasov is trying to figure out.
We'll keep seeing them, but there'll be less of them. By the end of the century, we're going to have less icebergs coming from Greenland.
Tarasov is the sole Canadian on an international team of scientists, estimating a time frame in which these changes could happen. From boring down into the layers of icebergs, it's clear that from the mid-1900s to the turn of the century, there was no change in melt patterns. Then,
around the turn of the century, we started seeing much bigger. We started seeing clear changes.
Right now, when chunks calve off the Greenland glacier, they fall into the ocean and become icebergs. But when the glacier retreats from the sea and onto land, those ice chunks will end up melting on land.
All they can do is melt. They can't form icebergs anymore because they're not in the water.
All this melt is directly tied to rising sea levels globally. And that's something else this research is hoping to predict, a time frame for how much sea levels will rise and by when.
The flood levels have been rising. But
that's of crucial interest for Joe Darayo.
We have a lot of coastal towns in Newfoundland and Labrador.
Darayo is training engineers with the provincial government to incorporate climate change into how they design public infrastructure. So knowing when something might happen is a bonus for planning purposes.
How do we design a bridge crossing, a culvert to carry the largest possible flow? If we have a design life 50 years, the climate's going to be very, very different. The likelihood of the extreme event or the high flood could be very different.
Some of this ice took 100,000 years to form. Because of climate change, experts say, within our children's lifetimes, it could disappear entirely. Chris O'Neill Yates, CBC News, Bonavista, Vista, Newfoundland.
Well, it's time for a quick commercial, just long enough for Anthony to sneak inside and scout out the deals. But after the break, I'll talk about why Costco became such a part of the social fabric in this province. Don't go anywhere, unlike Anthony.
Welcome back. Well, just ladies here tonight in the studio, but it was such a nice day today. Last day of school, opening of Costco, sunshine,
Absolutely beautiful. And essentially across the province too. Temperatures soared this afternoon into the mid-20s. If you take a look at some of those temperatures, 25 degrees in Badger, same for Deer Lake, 23 in Corner Brook. Hard to believe that last time this year there was snow on the ground, but we'll certainly take this. Temperatures around 16 degrees was your afternoon high in St. John's, 22 in St. Anthony, and then Lab City saw a high near 19 degrees. Now those temperatures have dropped just a little bit. Still a beautiful evening for most areas. Corner Brook sitting at 18 degrees right now, 14 in St. John's. And we are starting to see some fog roll in. And it does look like that will continue as we head through the overnight tonight. We have some showers as well, just now ending. If we take a look a little bit closer, you can see they're dissipating. And those skies should actually clear as we head through the overnight. Not so much up through Labrador, still looking at that chance of a few showers and cloud cover through the overnight. But overall, we are looking at generally clear skies, some coastal fog again tonight. And then as we head through the early morning hours, we'll likely see some more cloud cover and maybe even the chance of some showers, especially along the north, or rather the eastern portion of the Avalon, right along the coast. There's a good chance we could see a few showers, maybe even just some drizzle tonight. 8 degrees though, those northwesterlies 10 to 15 kilometers per hour. Gander sitting around 10 degrees, same for Grand Falls, Windsor, Port aux Basques 8 degrees tonight, and then St. Anthony dropping to about 5 under generally clear skies. Lab City, only 13 degrees is your overnight low today, or tonight rather. Light winds, that chance of showers across the board. Still chilly up through Nain at 3 degrees, but those winds will ease. Now tomorrow, gonna likely see another nice day for the most part, but some more cloudy periods through the afternoon. Slight chance we could see some showers develop as well. Afternoon scattered patchy showers, won't amount to much, but that risk still possible. And likely more in the way of cloud cover along the Avalon. And then essentially the same forecast up through Labrador. So a mix of sun and cloud through the day with that chance of showers moving through as well. And then cooler up through the northern portion of Labrador. So taking a look at those temperatures, they should be within a couple of degrees of what we're seeing today, more than likely on the plus side of that. 15 degrees Placentia, Marystown, 21 degrees tomorrow afternoon. Those northerly still light, but somewhere between 15 and 20 kilometers per hour. Bonavista, 19 degrees, Clarenville, 21. And then again, have that chance of showers through parts of central Gander, Grand Falls, Windsor. Twillingate should stay dry, reaching a high near 15 tomorrow. A little cooler along the south coast, 15 degrees for Burgeo, Port aux Basques, 14. Then we get into those 20-degree range again tomorrow afternoon. Plenty of sunshine up through Gross Mourne, Humber Valley as well, and then same up through the northern peninsula. St. Anthony sitting at 20 degrees tomorrow. Those northeasterlies again picking up slightly, but still light, somewhere between 15 and 20 kilometers per hour. Cartwright, 20 degrees. Mary's Harbor reached a high near 25 this afternoon. It looks like 24 degrees again tomorrow. And then again, that chance of showers everywhere else. So everybody's wondering what the long weekend is going to look like. I'll certainly have that, but let's head back to Anthony where it is beautiful outside.
So here we are back, beautiful day at Costco, as you know. Here and now, special coverage of what's happened at the opening day, as you certainly know by now. But this isn't just the promotional hype of a big store opening. It's actually representative of some major shifts in the region, and it's really the culmination of a major, unparalleled business success story. And so for that angle of it, I've got Zach Gowdy here with me. And so Zach, maybe give me a sense of the importance of this.
Well, just think about it. This province has many, many Walmarts, right? We have Staples and Michaels and Winners and many big chain stores, but none of those stores can claim to be the biggest such store in the country. And in a comparatively small city like this, you wouldn't expect them to be. True. Yet that is exactly what Costco has achieved here.
Yeah, you're thinking, why isn't this in Toronto? Why isn't this in Vancouver? Why isn't, you know?
Yeah, and how are we outperforming, or how rather is this Costco outperforming the Torontos and Vancouvers and Calgarys? So really this store is a fascinating story. Partly it's a story about population and how the population in this region has shifted in the last few decades, but it's also a story about people, about their preferences and their values and shopping habits, and how all of that seems to click with Costco.
All right, let's take a look.
It took years to plan, months to build, weeks to stock, but this morning it was open for business. The biggest Costco in Canada, a monument to its own success in St. John's, for now the lone occupant of a new corner of the city. In the most literal sense, Costco has come a long way from where it started.
The talk of the town, actually the talk of the whole east coast of Newfoundland, the Price Club.
The original store opening back in 1995 got a lot of attention too, some of it quite negative. Costco's members-only policy was a new thing in local retail, and it made some people mad.
I can't understand that at all. If they're going to give discount prices, everybody should be eligible.
Now the narrative has flipped. Far from being exclusionary, it seems like these days everyone has a Costco card.
I always think as someone who shops in Costco, it's the great leveler. I've been in there with premiers, I've been in there with business leaders, I've been there with restaurant owners and old friends and new friends, etc. So very much everybody shops at Costco.
So after more than 2 decades honing a winning formula, why change it by moving to the other side of town? One reason is that Costco is following the people, not the other way around. Over those same decades, the region's center of gravity has shifted from east to west.
If you look at whether it's Google Maps or you just drive into the West End, you can see the real change in Paradise, Conception Bay South, all that area. So Topsail Road is very much just basically an extension of the suburbia of St. John's. So you can see the demographics and you can see the number of people. It's probably a much younger population in the West End than we have in the East End.
According to Statistics Canada, areas near the old Costco, like the East End of St. John's, Torbay, and Portugal Cove, have an average age that tends to be in the 40s. In areas near the new Costco, including parts of Paradise and Conception Bay South, the average age tends to be in the 30s. But Costco's success isn't just a numbers game. There's something that resonates with people here.
And it's hard to put your finger on it. It's probably one of those things, there's no simple answer. There's no, it isn't prices, it isn't the people, it isn't the cheap hot dogs and the great poutine. Instead, it's probably a combination of all those different factors that really make it as successful as it is.
Now, the big question, the money question, is will that love affair continue? Will the alchemy be interrupted by the new location, by the drive, by the disruption in hard-formed shopping habits? Or will we just keep lining up at Costco?
We're talking about the problems with the roundabouts, and we're talking about problems with transportation, but I think they're going to be short-term problems. I think the long-term success, as long as Costco keeps the same model and provide all those elements, I think it'll be successful regardless of where it's going to be.
And if you look around here today, Anthony, the big crowd, beautiful weather, a great atmosphere here. I was speaking with some of the RNC here on site. No serious traffic issues so far, so I certainly think they couldn't have asked for a better debut.
No, Sonny, and as you can see behind us, people still coming and going, going. And I heard, Zach, that they're giving away free lint rollers in there.
Think they have any left? I've got my membership card.
Okay, me too. Got a bunch of cats. We'll be back.
And remember, you can watch Here and Now anywhere, anytime. We're broadcasting live on YouTube. You can also catch past episodes on demand. Just go to YouTube and subscribe to CBC NL. Well, at the Muskrat Falls inquiry, the province's natural resources minister was on the hot seat with questions about the methyl mercury aspect of the project. Indigenous groups have argued for several years that the wetlands in the area should be cleared or capped so as not to expose people downstream to possible poisoning when the Muskrat Falls reservoir is flooded in mid-July. The worry is that exposed vegetation could lead to dangerous levels of methyl mercury in the fish, seals, and seabirds that residents consume. In January, the provincial cabinet committed to the capping, but the work hasn't been done, and government officials testified last week that the window to do that has passed. That's the point an inquiry lawyer pushed Cabinet Minister Siobhan Coady on today. Here's part of that exchange.
We heard very passionate presentations from Mr. McLean, Mr. Lang, and particularly so from Marjorie Flowers about the importance of this issue to the Indigenous groups. And if you look at their evidence on the webcast, you see how passionate they are about this. And now that this opportunity has been taken away, I suggest to you that there's been a failure by government. I'm not talking about you personally, but a failure by government to properly, responsibly, and in good faith address the legitimate concerns of the Indigenous groups. Can I have your comment on that, please? A failure.
If there is, I do not think it's deliberate. And I take your words sincerely, and I understand how passionate people are about this very important issue. And I'll again say I believe the government has been responsive to trying to address the concerns that have been raised. I will also point out scientifically that the levels of methylmercury have been not significantly raised, and I will point out that wetland capping only would attribute to 1 to 2% of the mitigation of methylmercury should it be raised. Having said that, I understand the passion and I understand the concern that, and it would have been helpful if there had been a different outcome here. But I cannot tell you why the decision wasn't made until January of 2019. But I can tell you that Nalcor was positioning itself and was working toward that end, but the decision had not been taken. But I honestly cannot express why that it took that long.
It's a good question, isn't it?
I have no insight as to, and again, I take the role of regulator and not very responsibly in that. As Minister of Natural Resources responsible for Nalcor, I have to respect that there is a role of a regulator there, and that I have to respect that boundary.
Turning now to some national news, the Rcmp is investigating how fake Canadian inspection certificates were attached to a shipment of pork in China. It's provoked Chinese authorities to ban all imports of meat from Canada. Experts say it looks like food fraud. As Mike Crawley explains, it's a growing criminal industry worth billions.
What do Canadian pigs have in common with Gucci handbags? Both are targets of counterfeiters. Canadian meat is highly valued across Asia, and that makes a Canadian meat inspection certificate valuable too. Fake certificates allow shady businesses to fetch a higher price for their phony products.
Food fraud is a global problem. It's estimated about $49 billion worldwide, and we have organized crime that are at the core of this.
This expert just spent 6 years working in Asia as a food supply chain consultant. He believes the contaminated pork shipment that triggered China to ban imports of all Canadian meat likely originated in China.
Could it have been a fake product from a local source? It's highly unlikely that it came from Canada.
We want to understand where this pork originated from, who's involved, so that we can move forward and frankly continue and regain market access into China.
To find out, Canadian officials need to get their hands on a sample of the meat from the contaminated shipment. Chinese officials say it was treated with ractopamine, an additive that nearly all Canadian pork farmers stopped using 6 years ago. A DNA test of the meat could prove its geographical origins.
And it could be from anywhere else, and it is really the investigation who will tell us where this meat comes from.
The RCMP's Sensitive and International Investigations Branch is handling the case. It's the arm of the Mounties that also deals with corruption and cybersecurity. And that gives you a sense of how challenging it could be to track down the origins of this food fraud. Mike Crawley, CBC News, Toronto.
And the crowds just keep coming. Coming up, back to Galway for more on today's Costco craze. That's ahead.
Welcome back to Here and Now. I'm Anthony Germain at the new Costco, the biggest in Canada. Now, what I've noticed coming and going, of course, carts, some people come out with these huge pallets, but this gentleman came out with only a few items. Good evening.
No, my servant is coming behind me.
Your what?
Servant.
Your servant?
Yeah.
You have a servant?
Well, sure. Can you take that from my background? Oh, yeah.
I notice your accent. You're from Carbonear, I think.
Yeah. Well, a little ways from Carbonear.
So what was it like in there?
As expected, it's very well laid out to handle the crowds of people.
Okay.
It's very well laid out.
So did you just decide to go because of your sense of curiosity, or did you have a whole bunch of things to buy?
No, curiosity right now, then you come back to buy. There's no sense of buying right now. The place is just chock-a-block. But the same stuff will be there tomorrow and the next day.
You seem rather confident it might not be.
No, Costco's been in business a long time.
So this
is a bit like yourself, you know.
So this is reconnaissance. This is a military mission for you.
Yeah.
So if I know it's kind of indiscreet to ask this, but you can be honest with me and whoever's watching.
Mm-hmm.
What are you after? What are you looking for?
Bargains.
Bargains?
You know my accent.
You're going to make some Scottish joke here, which I can't make. So, but are you looking for a TV, turnips, Zodiac?
Tires from a car was #1 and the most desperately expensive. Over $200 each.
Right. I think they've got the sale on them, don't they?
Yeah, with the sale.
Oh, okay. So you weren't convinced?
No, I'd rather buy shares in the company that's making them.
Okay. Well, listen, I don't want to keep you too long. It's a beautiful night. Appreciate that, and all the best.
Knock him off because of somebody to ask you.
Okay. All right. There you go, Costco. You got to knock down your tires a bit to get this guy to come back. Appreciate your time.
Yeah.
All right. All the best.
No, I want to talk to you.
I'll talk to you after.
Yeah.
I got to think about Carolyn and people.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry.
Okay, that's all right.
I'll wait.
That's all right. Okay, that's it from Costco, and I'll be back tomorrow with Carolyn and Ashley.
Thanks, Anthony. You gotta love live television, right? Thanks. Well, from Canada's biggest Costco to its biggest airline, after a month of negotiating, Montreal-based travel company Transat AT has opted to accept a $520 million takeover offer from Air Canada. Now, the deal merges Air Canada with the third largest carrier in this country, and that gives the combined company control of 60% of Canadian transatlantic travel and most of Montreal's air travel market. And that means stepped up scrutiny from Canada's competition watchdog. The Transat Board of Directors had turned down a slightly higher takeover bid from a Montreal-based real estate developer. Air Transat will retain its name and under the terms of the agreement and will maintain its operational base in Montreal. Well, at the G20 summit in Osaka, Japan, the main themes have mainly to do with global economy and trade. But for Justin Trudeau, the priority appears to be something else entirely: the 2 Canadians detained in China. Trudeau arrived in Japan today. He does not have a meeting scheduled with the Chinese president, but U.S. President Donald Trump has said he will bring up the issue during his meeting with Xi Jinping. Trudeau has indicated he will raise the topic at every opportunity. He's expected to use the forum to discuss the issue with Canada's other allies, including the UK, Germany, and France. Moving south of the border, the race to become Donald Trump's Democratic rival in the 2020 election is heating up. Last night, 10 of the 20 Democratic presidential candidates squared off in their first debate in Miami. Round 2 with the next set of 10 candidates is tonight. Well, after a pleasant group wave on the stage, the sparring began. The candidates stuck to the 60-second time limit, answering questions on a range of hot-button issues, including the economy, immigration, Medicare, and security. There were relatively few swipes at President Donald Trump. He commented after the debate with a one-word tweet calling it boring. Well, this scene played out right across the province today. Thousands of school-aged children stepping aboard school buses and heading straight into summer. At Topsail Elementary, teachers danced and sang as they escorted students out of the building for the last time. And as you can see, it's not only the kids who are excited. School's out for summer. All right, so tomorrow is Friday, and not just Friday, it's the Friday before a long weekend.
It is. How
Very
exciting. Yeah, the forecast is like flip-flopped essentially every single day this week as far as what's going to happen tomorrow and then through the weekend as well. But we'll take a look quickly at the 24-hour forecast for the metro area. It does look like we will see some fog patches as we head through the overnight. Have that chance of showers and or drizzle. Might make it onshore, but still have that in there nonetheless in the early morning hours, and then eventually some cloudy periods. Temperatures should reach 15 degrees by the afternoon tomorrow. But generally looking at more cloud cover than what we saw today. So as far as what we're expecting as we head through the day on Saturday, right now it looks like things should stay dry. Again, some cloudy periods in the mix there. Slight chance of some pop-up showers, mainly for the southern half of the island, and then some rain will move in up through Labrador, especially for Lab West, with some cloud cover again through the afternoon, and then potentially going to see some clearing as we head towards Sunday morning. So here's a look at your temperatures. Not too bad, back into the mid-20s for Grand Falls, Windsor, Corner Brook. 16 degrees it looks like for parts of the Avalon, especially for St. John's. Little cooler for Gander at 13 degrees. And then again, these temperatures will likely flip-flop, but this is what it's looking like for now. Some chances, some showers up through Happy Valley, Goose Bay, though nice temperature-wise, still looking at the 20-degree range, and then same for Lab City. So as we head into Sunday, this is when things start to get a little bit tricky. So some clearing in the morning, and then some afternoon potential for some showers. That's ahead of the next system. Whether that makes its way in the afternoon on Sunday or towards the overnight and into Monday is still up for discussion right now. As we head through the afternoon on Monday, certainly the best day that we will see some showers, unfortunately, for Canada today. And then we do have that potential for showers up through Labrador as well. Into Tuesday, the beginning of next week does look a little bit unsettled. So we're going to continue to see that chance of showers there as well. So as far as those temperatures go, here's what here's what I'm thinking over the next couple of days. So have that sunshine in the mix right until Sunday. Again, some cloudy periods in the mix there as well, but generally dry for now, between 13 and 16 degrees, and then staying there into Monday right now, and then Tuesday have that chance of showers as well, 16 degrees. Now, as we head towards Central, that becomes a little bit more tricky. So 25 degrees right through Saturday. So an afternoon on Saturday looks absolutely beautiful. Sunday, 20 degrees with that chance of showers moving in either in the afternoon or evening, depending on the timing of that system. And then Monday again, Monday and Tuesday, looking a little wet with that chance of showers. For Western Newfoundland, 22 degrees, 24 on Saturday. So right now, again, these light winds too. That's the other thing to point out. Otherwise, we're looking at that chance of showers at the beginning of next week. Essentially for Labrador, it looks unsettled. Sunday right now looks like the best day of the weekend. And then for Western Labrador, I have that chance of showers in there all week next week, with those temperatures dipping as we head towards the beginning. So that's a look at your forecast for the long weekend. I'll have your weather photo coming up.
Thanks, Ashley. Well, a new festival is kicking off tonight, and it's all about graphic literature. Pure Comics, and that's comics with an X, celebrates comics and the artists who make them. Wallace Ryan is the festival's director.
Something we'd thought about for years, myself and my friend Paul Tucker and some of the other people in the comic arts community. We figured it's time to step up to the big leagues and try a full-on festival of graphic literature. There's a power to comics that I enjoy. It's one of the most incredible storytelling art forms out there. It gets messages across so instantaneously with the mixture of graphics and text. So much so that as a kid, I started reading comics when I was 3 years old, or looking at comics, and by the time I was 5 and I went to school, I could read and write just from having been exposed to comics. For Saturday and Sunday, which are sort of the main event, is going to be at the Anna Temple in itself. We have a vendors area, and we have what they call an artist alley, a little bit of an area for artists. So we'll have actually comic book artists sitting there and working on work so people can come and see how it's done. We also have a series of workshops, script writing with Andrew Hawthorne, who did a comic for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Myself, I teach the penciling and inking and lettering. Paul Tucker will be teaching the coloring. And our guest of honor, Mike Feehan, will be talking about digital comics. Just tell me what you're interested in, and I can find you a graphic novel and or a comic that might be related in some ways to that. There's a comic out there for everyone.
Well, here's your weather photo. I think you know where that's taken.
Pretty easy guess.
Pretty easy guess. That fog monster looks pretty cool through the lens.
Almost ghostly.
It does. It kind of looks like there's, I don't know, it looks neat. Anyway, I'll tell you who took this photo when we come back.
Welcome back. With the Canada Day long weekend just ahead, you know a lot of people will be firing up the barbecue.
Yeah, and of course, many will be grilling up that summertime favorite, hot dogs.
Today we're going for the Guinness Book of World Records for the largest hot dog in the world.
It's unlikely any backyard chef is going to match this monster, though. It weighs 66 pounds and it's 1.5 meters long. It was created by Fellman's of Coney Island, the company that claims to have invented the hot dog 152 years ago. It took 2 hours to grill and was served up with mustard and sauerkraut. Ugh. It'll be months before we find out if it was big enough to win a spot in the Guinness Book of World Records. Oh, so everyone gets a taste.
Oh, okay, so they cut it up.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, what's the point of the bun then? Make it the big bun.
It's just
Just
for
a look,
looks.
I guess.
Yeah. Does not look very appetizing.
I actually didn't say it looks delicious.
Well, before we leave you, we just wanted to show you something really, oh yes, here's your
The weather
viewer
photo.
Yes, we'll do this first.
Yeah, we'll talk about the weather photo because this was yesterday, the fog. A beautiful afternoon it turned out to be, and clearly a beautiful picture there. So obviously that was taken at Signal Hill. Yeah.
And you got some great video of that fog monster
I did
yesterday.
in the morning. I certainly did, yeah. So Andrea O'Keefe sent us this photo. And if you have any weather photos you'd like to share with us, send them to nlphotos@cbc.ca. But that fog is still very much in play right now.
Still hanging around the downtown area.
Yeah, and there it is. It is moved in right now.
Wow, it is so great. You can't even see the harbor through the fog, but you know, for as nasty as it is downtown right now, just have a look outside our studios here on Prince Philip Drive. What a difference.
Yeah, 3 kilometers away, and that's what it looks like. You can kind of see the fog in the background there. We're gonna see that continue, I guess, as we head through the night tonight. Some fog patches possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, it makes for some beautiful photos. I just love how that all the small scale stuff comes into play.
Yeah.
Great place to be a meteorologist.
It certainly is. And tomorrow's Friday, then we get into the long weekend, as we mentioned. And Saturday is actually the beginning of the food fishery.
That's right.
So lots of stuff on the go. It's going to be a long weekend, food fishery. And,
yeah, we'll certainly talk about that forecast tomorrow.
Yeah, a lot of people are going to be wanting to know about the winds, especially. And
yeah.
How things are going to be looking.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, that's it for us tonight. Anthony will be back here tomorrow night in studio. Hope to see you then.
Good night, everyone.